Hello friends, welcome back to our Maths Foundational series. I'm Venkatesh. In this class, we are going to learn types of numbers. Now we will see what is a real number.
Real numbers. What exactly real number is? Real number is nothing but combination of all rational numbers and irrational numbers. So I will write the definition. Numbers consisting all rational numbers and all irrational numbers. So we'll see what rational numbers, integers, fractions, and terminating or repeating decimals. Terminating or repeating decimals. Next, what are irrational numbers? Irrational numbers are nothing but non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. Non-terminating and non-repeating, non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. We have seen the definition of real numbers. Now we will see examples. So what are those examples? We'll see in integers. Integers like -5, 0, 12, and fractions 3/4, 7/5, like that. And in decimals 3.14 -2.75. And in irrational numbers √3 and epsilon. These are some examples of real numbers. Now we will see how real numbers are classified. So real numbers are mainly classified into two numbers. First one rational number. Second one irrational numbers. In rational numbers, integers are there, whole numbers, and in whole numbers 0 and natural numbers. If we combine natural and 0, we will get whole numbers, and negative and positive numbers will get integers, and from integers we will get rational numbers, and both rational and irrational numbers finally will get real numbers. So I hope you understand how real numbers are classified. Now we will see the next type of number.
We have seen what a real number is. Now we will learn an imaginary number.
Imaginary numbers. So what are imaginary numbers? Actually, imaginary number is the product of non-zero real number and imaginary unit. That will explain now. So imaginary number is The product means multiplication. So is the product of a non-zero real number and the imaginary unit denote imaginary number by I. So we call imaginary unit I as iota. IOTA. I hope you understand the definition of imaginary number. So I will explain in deep explanation. I will explain with some examples. So first example, if you do a square of -2, that means if you do a square of -2, then what will be the answer? -2 into -2. So 2 into 2, 4, and minus into minus plus. So we got 4 as answer. And we'll see another example, that is 5 square. So if we multiply 5 by 5 with 5, so we will get 5 5s are 25. So what we got? 25. So if we observe these two examples, result of the squares are not a negative number. Why? Because if we square, then minus into minus we got plus. If you do a square of either negative number or a positive number, the result will be a positive. So if we observe about two examples, the result of the squares are not a negative number, means square of any real number is always positive. I will write the result. The square of, so the result of the square of any real number, either it is a positive or negative. The result of the square of any real number is always positive. Now I will explain why imaginary number iota is introduced. Why imaginary number? Why imaginary number I introduced? While solving quadratic equations, that means ax plus bx square plus c, like that. Quadratic equations, we come across the square root of negative numbers. All of us know many times we come across square of minus number while solving quadratic equations. So in such case, usage of imaginary number is mandatory. How we use imaginary number, that I will explain now. So example, if you want to do the square root of -4, then we will simplify like root of -1 into root of 4. So root of -1 is nothing but I, and root 4 is nothing but 2. So the answer is 2 into I. Here the value of I is root of minus 1. And I will explain with another example, root of minus 3. So or we will solve root of minus 1 into root of 3. So the value of root over minus 1 is nothing but I, and root 3 is root 3. So answer is root 3I. Here the value of iota is nothing but root over minus 1. In such case we use imaginary number I. I will explain an important point. If we observe about these two examples, 2I and here root 3I, what we are observing? We see that each of this number is a product of non-zero real number and I. That is nothing but, I will write, imaginary number is nothing but, so imaginary number is nothing but, imaginary number is nothing but real number, that is non-zero real number, into I, that is product of I. That is what I explain in a definition. If you observe this definition, you will come to know imaginary number is the product of non-zero real number and the imaginary unit I. That is what we come to know at the end of this slide. I hope you understand what an imaginary number is. Now we will learn the last type of number.
We have learned what an imaginary number is. Finally, we will learn what is a complex number.
Complex number. So a complex number is nothing but a combination of real numbers and imaginary number. Complex number is the sum of a real number and an imaginary number. So complex number is a form of a plus ib. Complex number is the form of the form a plus ib. I will explain what a plus ib is, where a and b, both a and b are real numbers. This whole a part is nothing but real part and b part is imaginary part. And combined ib is nothing but imaginary number. How we will denote complex number? Denoted by letter Z. So Z is nothing but a plus ib. So I will explain the terms. A is real part. The whole ib is imaginary number. And ib is imaginary part. So I hope you understand what an imaginary number is. Imaginary number is nothing but the sum of real number and imaginary number. Means if we combine both real numbers and imaginary numbers, we'll get complex numbers.
If you have any doubt about this class or any doubt regarding maths, let me know in the comment section so that I will make a dedicated video regarding that doubt. If you feel this class is helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe my channel to learn maths concepts effectively. Thank you.